The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply.
Alright, so this is the Flogcast for round 13. The emotionally checked out Tiger Starburns is here, and I'm joined by the suburban netballer from Collingwood, Morgan Ashley.
Hello.
And the white knight of Redheads Everywhere from North, Dan.
Hello.
Goo or tears, what do we got?
I've tears. It's come to my attention that the Miss America beauty pageant has decided to scrap the swimsuit part of their competition and not have any focus on the looks of the participants in the pageant. So I don't know why they would do that. So now your Susan Boyles of the world can win these sort of things now, which is
Suze.
odd. Suze, come on down. It's kind of like you know those Mr. Universe like muscle sort of shows or competitions.
Mr. Olympia, isn't it?
Oh yeah, whatever it's called. But imagine the organisers of that show telling the athletes, "Hey, we're not placing much importance on muscle or size of which you just turn up, you flex, tell us who you are, and we'll decide a winner."
So you're saying Miss Universe needs to focus on femininity?
No, it doesn't. It's just I mean, can't we celebrate beauty and people that look hot?
What about the beautiful on the inside people?
Well, they can have their own competition. I mean, that's
Miss Beautiful on the inside.
Miss Ugly on the out and good in the middle. I don't know what would you call it?
Miss Earth Core.
You know, the Susan Boyle competition or the Caroline Wilson Award. Well, she's actually bad on the outside and inside. So she wouldn't even get a look in. So yeah, that's my tears. How much time we got left? Was it 40 minutes? We're doing the 2020 version of the podcast.
Damn, this is the sort of shit I talked about before we came on.
Yeah, you got to be on your game. No balls or wides or anything from you. All right, we got to get through the overs.
I need a bell. I need an autism bell for you that I ring every time you...
I mean, how are you feeling, Sneezy? Have you recovered?
I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. I had a monstrous hangover this morning. And you know what? I'll just go into that. That can be my tears. I drank far too much at Queen's birthday. What?
Did you fix the bread?
Actually, it did. I made it.
Oh, right.
I made it before I went to the football. That was the only thing that was good. When I got home, it was in perfect condition. I went, oh, it worked. That was the only thing of yesterday that went well because I rue and lament my day on the piss.
Imagine if you had a hangover and no toast. Fucking hell.
The toast didn't go down very well this morning, it must be said. I did not want to eat it, but I knew I had to get something into me. It was not a pleasant morning. I didn't feel good till basically lunchtime, and then I just
maybe
sort of
alcohol
drifted through.
isn't for you, man. I mean, you are short of stature.
Alcohol's just fine for me. It's just I'm a little bit older. Than each year you start to realise that you just can't do what you used to do, and boy, was this a wake-up call.
Old Starburns, he ain't what he used to be.
Pretty much. So that can be my tears.
Don't overdo it, man. I mean, you'll be joining Vern in a minute if you keep pushing yourself.
Well, it's better to burn out than fade away, Dan. Morgs.
Yeah, I'll just have goo. I'll have delicious bathwater tasting goo. Fuck, yesterday was good. It was so good. The ground was red and blue. They were handing out flags outside the MCC. Free flags, free Melbourne flags. Everyone take your Melbourne flag. And then in the car park on the way home, the joint was full of fucking flags because nobody wants flags of a loser. It was fantastic. Again, it was
a sad old flag.
Yeah, it was a sad old flag and it wasn't high flying. I give you the hot tip. What a bunch of plotters they were yesterday. Oh, it was good. It was good to show them up.
I watched a bit of this game. How did Cookson's favourite player, Mycock, go?
He wasn't that great. He kicked one goal, which was a good goal, right on 3/4 time.
Who won the ruck duel?
Mason Cox, I think.
In other words, Gawn won the ruck duel, Dan.
I don't think so. He didn't have... I think Grundy had more hit-outs. I don't think anyone walked away from that ruck duel going, this one had a better performance. It was quite even, but we definitely won the clearances, so I'll take that.
We'll just go straight into that game. If I didn't have tears for the alcohol thing that Dan sort of preempted, I was going to have Goo for Cox, who, it's a good story, 5 goals. He saves his best for his marquee games, like his first one on Anzac Day and stuff.
Unlike Melbourne, he loves a big stage. So he could never go there because he'd dominate. But he was really good.
He's prime time, isn't he?
He was really good. Yeah, he loves it. He loves the lights. He loves any kind of... loves to put on a show, the big man. And at one stage he took a mark, and as he was walking back to his spot to kick a goal, he was giving a thumbs up to the guy who kicked it to him. Usually you save that for after you kick the goal, but no, not Coxie.
Isaac Smith does it beforehand.
Oh, except Mason Cox kicks the goal.
Was that the one from 50? Because he had that sort of, that nod of just like how good's that?
The knowing.
Yeah,
Nah, I think this was
nailed it.
This was earlier on where he took a mark and it was probably only 35 out on a slight angle. Wasn't when he bananaed it. That was fucking brilliant. But he was great. He's great to watch. And as we said, it was a good story. And I think yesterday was full of good stories. To see how much money was raised was fantastic. To have somebody in our corner that we were playing like they play for Neil while we had somebody to play for. And the way that the club got around him and his family was really nice. It was touching, and that Bucks wore his helmet down the slide. I thought it was really nice. And yeah, it was good to be a Collingwood supporter yesterday.
I didn't see much of the slides, but there were some interesting outcomes from that, like Chris Fagan, for example, tearing the hamstring right off the bone.
I guess that's what happens when you wear a dress and then have to get out of the pool. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
How do you tear a hamstring going down a slide?
No, he tore it getting out. So he was wearing like nun's outfit or a reverend's outfit, which was like a dress. And as he was trying to get out, he fell and tore his hamstring.
Oh, what a stupid Humpty Dumpty. You kind of deserve it.
Humpty Dumpty.
It was a very Brisbane thing to happen. I'm sure that Paddles blames us. Good game. Nice to see that Jesse Hogan didn't kick a goal, so that streak's over. Melbourne now have no streaks except for their one game winning streak against North Melbourne. That's all they've got left. Sucked in.
We've spent like 20 minutes on this game. We've only got like 10 minutes left.
Shut up,
Dan.
right.
Was the only good game to talk about?
We'll go to the next game I want to talk about. Has nothing to do with the on-field aspect of the game itself, but it is probably one of the games warrants the most talk. St Kilda Sydney in the Pride game. Now,
God.
Where do we want to begin here? Do we want to begin with Plugger in the stands, or do we want to begin with the toilets?
That's why I wanted Cookson on here, because I wanted to ask him if he actually had the nerve to venture into one of these things.
One of what things?
They had a gender-neutral toilets.
Yeah, you could go into any toilet you wanted. Whatever you identified as was the sign out front.
Settle down, losers. There was 6 toilets that were general, that weren't allocated. Wasn't every toilet. There were 6
We never said they were.
Toilets.
We never said they were.
And
that's still a very risky proposition at a St Kilda game.
Very risky. Like, what if I was to go in, stand up to the urinal, and just pull my pants down to my ankles and start whizzing away? Everyone
okay, Lee Matthews.
Yeah, what's the issue? That's what you do in the male toilet? Females don't go that part? What's the point?
Yeah, but then people can see your butt and your genitals and your semen.
But that's nothing to do with any of this. That's the same.
That's how you handle pissing at a urinal. That's got nothing to do with whether there were females and males in there.
I'm more talking about Stephen Milne, for example, wandering into whichever toilets he wanted to, because the option was there. Like,
if Stephen Milne wanted to go and perv on girls in the toilet, I doubt a sign on the door is going to stop him.
No, but it just enabled him. Like,
Ever been to a toilet on a plane? They're all fucking gender neutral. Who cares?
Yeah, but that's a cubicle on its own. You're not sharing it with somebody at the same time.
Yes, and inside a toilet are cubicles on their own. So the gender neutral toilets would have only been female toilets that they made gender neutral. There wouldn't have been a urinal. It just would have been cubicles. Same thing.
How do you know? There might have been urinals in there.
No. They were female toilets.
I mean, if you're doing a gender neutral toilet, you've got to have both. You've got to provide for both.
I don't think that they reconstructed the ground, Dan.
No, but there are toilets. There are men's toilets that have cubicles and urinals, and they may have made one of those the gender-neutral toilet. Does that make sense?
No, I don't think they did. I think they made female toilets.
Why wouldn't they if they're trying to push for this?
A bit sexist, I think.
Yeah.
Men get your
I'm
toilets,
offended.
women you share with the Hannah Mounties of the world.
I don't see it as being an issue.
Which actually, speaking of, I caught AFL 360 last week, and for Dan, I have no idea why Open Mic's interviewing Hannah Mountie, but they showed some footage that was going to be on that episode. There is no way that a beast can play in the AFLW next year. The size difference from some of those highlights is ridiculous. You may as well just let the rest of them all take whatever roids they want to get that big, like Mr. Olympia.
He is bigger than Jonathan Brown. They took a photo together recently.
Oh, yeah, but his shoulders have disappeared. Like, he's had his shoulders cut off or something since he finished.
His shoulders cut off.
Have you seen him? He's had a shoulder amputation.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got that. Yeah, but but Hannah is just generally bigger. He's not as tall. He might be a little bit shorter than Jonathan Brown, but everything else is as big, if not bigger. It's weird. And I watched snippets of snippets. I watched snippets of the interview, and Mike even asked the question of whether Hannah had her bits chopped off, and even though
had a snippet.
Yeah, a snippet. That's why I laughed.
I bet you were so keen for that answer, Dan. Mm-hmm. Highlight of your year.
That's what he tuned in for.
No, I clicked onto Fox Footy, and they were showing a replay of it. I don't know, there was like 10 or 15 minutes left. Yeah, right.
You scoured the Open Mic thread on Big Footy to find out where they asked, what timestamp they asked the question.
Trying to know what's in her pants, whether there's a man vag or the genitals are still intact. She didn't answer the question, but she gave the impression that everything is still there.
To me, it doesn't matter. It's the physical size. I don't care which it is. That's not going to make a difference, but that is clearly an unfair advantage, and no one should have to deal with that, in my opinion. That's just stiff shit. Is it
not an unfair advantage that Mason Cox is 7 foot tall and no one else is?
Well, he's born that way. That's how it is. But I've said this before, but there are some things that if that's the change you need to make in your life. Some doors should be closed to you, and professional sport is clearly one of those.
Particularly contact sports.
Yes, but...
Why is it the people that play with her don't care?
Do we know that for certain, though?
Have you considered that some people might actually care and they're too afraid to, look like a minority and say, hey, we feel uncomfortable about this? Chris Judd had an article...
I'm absolutely 100% sure they could anonymously give that information. Well, you could easily leak that to the media. You could easily tell somebody in the media, I'm an AFLW footballer and I don't want to play against her. They would run with that in a heartbeat.
Well, Chris Judd apparently has run with it and no one's refuted that particular claim. Anyway, we're getting a bit off track. It's a no for me. It's a no from Dan. I think it's a yes from Morgs. So we'll just leave it.
I just don't care. I don't see it as an issue. Like people who are like, oh, I don't want my kids going to a toilet.
Well, I don't care about that.
If you've ever been to a toilet, you do your business behind a door. Nobody sees anything. All you will see of another person.
The whole area outside should be shared with men and women, little girls and little boys.
The only thing a man will see is 20 narcissistic women looking in the mirror. That's it.
No, it's just uncomfortable and weird. Just keep it. Females over here, men over here, do your shit and get out.
Men just don't want to know that women actually shit. And that's why you're intimidated by it.
This has got nothing to do with women shitting. This is just uncomfortable.
We're just uncovering this Dan's psychoanalysis here. The other thing that we must discuss is Plugger made his way over for the Saints Swans game and he brought a friend with him.
I thought it was a bit sad that he couldn't afford the hotel room to leave his pillow behind.
Do you reckon he had to buy an extra ticket?
Surely, that thing was sitting in a seat.
He wouldn't fit it in carry-on. No way. He would have to pay for a seat for that, for his partner.
Japanese anime sex pillow.
But, I don't understand whatever the culture is of this pillow or whatever. I don't understand the purpose of it. Did they have sex with the pillow, or
Well, what else? Why else would you have that branded on there?
I don't know. But
That's
does it have a hole?
That's the obvious
I don't
implication.
get it. So is there a hole in the pillow, or
the pillow and the linen are all white? I mean, it kind of makes sense. I
don't want to know.
Well, you guys are discussing it. I mean, you have to know. I mean, it's
I think someone took the pride game a little bit too far with that particular thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a joke, but I don't think it is.
But one thing is for sure, we know that's Plugger, right?
That probably could be plenty of St Kilda supporters, but I think Plugger was the obvious one. It's very Plugger sort of thing. Look, I have no words for that. I really don't.
It's fucking weird. Let's be honest. It's just weird.
That is the weirdest thing. That is the weirdest
Hilarious.
thing I've ever seen at a football game.
Absolutely hilarious.
Sort of freaks that are cut off from the world, and they have zero filter. They don't care.
That's future Straffo, man.
Yeah, it's got a bit of trade draft about it as well. It's like him bringing the cot to the game.
Would trade draft be allowed in the baby change rooms at the Pride game?
Trade draft's climbing on the change table.
Do you identify as an adult or a baby?
It's definitely the weirdest thing I've seen anybody ever take out with them in public.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wonder if it's a product of the Pride game or just a coincidence. I don't know if there's any pride attached to carrying a pillow like that around.
No, there should be a lot of shame, really.
I'm betting that person has brought that thing to St Kilda games before, and it's only just now that someone has managed to catch a photo of this freak and his pillow partner.
I'm very attached to my pillow. I take it everywhere, but it doesn't have a face on it, and I don't take it to the football.
And a cartoon face, too. Let's just focus on that particular bit of information, too.
It's not like Pamela Anderson's face.
No.
It's a cartoon.
Sort of person who wants to marry a cartoon character, as people mentioned in the thread, the types in Japan who want to do that, shit like that.
Comic-Con was on the weekend. Maybe he'd been to Comic-Con and got it there.
And oh God, take it home first at least. Or turn it inside out.
Or sit on the fucking thing.
I bet he does turn it.
He probably does sit on it.
That's heaps better than sitting near somebody who was just eating a banana off the ground.
Weirdest thing ever. Anything else on it?
No, it's great. Plugger, I hope you enjoyed your trip.
Yeah, well done, Plugger.
Next game, we'll go with Geelong versus North at the Cheat Ground.
What was that?
That was Dan.
That was me.
He wasn't happy with the result, I think.
No, I wasn't happy with the result. I wasn't happy with the game.
Were you expecting a better result, Dan, or just a better effort?
Probably better effort. I mean, the result I wasn't surprised with, but
I did like how Geelong saw West Coast Cheat Ground earlier in the year firsthand and went, we'll do that too, and decided to put up their stabby fence, the Nucky fence.
It's probably the first game this year that the Geelong trio might have actually
the
worked.
Devil's
They
Threesome.
weren't brilliant. The trio, not the tree. Fuck the tree.
Devil's
The
Threesome.
Devil's Threesome. It's not all about the tree, Dan.
Never said the tree. I said trio.
We know.
None of us said anything about a tree. You just went there.
No, you said tree. You implied I said tree.
No,
Devil's
you
Threesome.
said threesome.
Next game. We've got 10 minutes left.
Is there more out of this game?
No, there is nothing more on this game.
What about Aaron Black?
Yeah, it's nasty injury.
That didn't look good. Yeah.
Is there something wrong with the surface down there?
Cheat grass.
Isn't that too? Isn't that? It's on there, I think they should get their cheat grass looked at. They've had 2 serious knee injuries in how long? Got leg injuries in 2 weeks.
He landed awkwardly. I don't think it's a surface thing. He was just unlucky.
But no, I do find it funny though that all of a sudden out of nowhere Geelong has the stabby boards around the ground, which were never there anytime earlier, but now they're hurting people. Like,
Yeah. Now they're causing problems. Let's implement them.
yes,
I bet you us taxpayers paid for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what all the money was for, wasn't it? Geelong gets another $50 million to build more fucking lights.
To build stabby fences.
We want fences like they have in West Coast. We want to stab people and we want it to light up like a disco.
All right, so we can comfortably assume that Nakai is behind it.
Yes, we've got to call it the Nakai fence.
It's the Nakai fence. If it stabs somebody, it can only be one person.
The
They
Nakai
asked
cheek
the
fence.
Zeus's opinion. They would have gotten the Punji pit fence.
Next game, Puffers versus Richmond. What's so funny, Dan?
What happened, man?
Didn't play very well. Only lost by 14 points, but didn't play very well.
I'm starting to sound logical every time I have something to say regarding Richmond.
Nobody's ever accused you of sounding logical, Dan.
God, yeah, every time we lose a game, Dan, you're going to pull out the same fucking line. But when we win, you still play it anyway. Still 9-3, still second on the ladder.
You still look like a B team. You still look like a B team when you win.
Oh, please.
So if they're a B team, who's an A team?
Well, there are no A teams. It's just everyone's just sort of average and shit.
No, not this shit again. Not this shit again.
But with this game, I mean, what happened? Are you going to tell us that it was just coincidental that Dustin Martin played and Richmond were shit?
We didn't play very well. We had a handful of injuries which is not what we usually have. We're normally pretty good on the fitness front. We don't have too many out for too long.
You can't deal with injuries.
So what you're saying is you don't have depth.
I think we have reasonable depth, but I don't think we always fill it. I don't think they fill it always with the right players.
Did Miles play?
Miles did play. He did okay, but he wasn't the problem. It was more like if you watch the game, you might have noticed Connor Menageau once, but he's probably
seen Cochin touch it a few times, but he was relatively quiet too.
Not his best game, but there were passengers up forward, and that was what hurt us most because we had the opportunities.
But Dusty not playing
is this the third week in a row you've said not his best game about Trent?
No, because 2 weeks ago he's best on.
All right, well, it's definitely 3 out of 4 that you've said not his best game.
Yeah, 2 of those were losses.
I'm sensing a pattern.
Oh, yeah. If Trent doesn't play well, we don't win.
It's not looking good. Trent's just, I don't need to say any more on Trent. I think his performances are speaking for themselves.
His performances over his career speak for themselves, Brownlow medal and all, Dan.
So Dusty not playing was just a coincidence that Richmond were average?
Well, you take one of your best players out, yes, that's gonna put a hole in there. Where would you be if Sean Higgins wasn't playing games this year? You'd be a lot worse off.
You are reliant on Dustin Martin. Is that what you're saying? No.
No.
I think you are. I think your team only has 2
because
players.
honestly, if we hadn't fucked about the chances we had, we probably could have still won this game. We lost by 14 points, and it was our worst effort of the year. It was worse than the West Coast and Adelaide games. Mistakes got made. They didn't move it very well. Broke down going forwards, which normally doesn't happen. Too many passengers up forward as opposed to the midfield or down back.
So what happened to Castagna and Butler and Graham?
Butler was shit. Castagna was serviceable.
Dan,
what do you want me to say, you dickhead?
I want you to speak openly and honestly.
I'm literally speaking openly and honestly. I'm not concerned.
You are blind with this stupid notion that your team is filled with A-graders. And autism bell. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. I never said anything about A-graders, you dickhead. I'm flicking the switches right now as I'm talking to you. I'm having a grand old time. How much time do we have left?
Yeah, Dan, you just soaked up like 20% of our time in that. The only other thing out of this game that matters is Razor Ray and Grigg. I want to know what happened. I want to know what was going on. It was like, as someone said, it was like the parents scolding the toddler for being obnoxious in public or something.
I don't know what he said to Ray, but Ray was very unhappy. with what he said. He's like, we don't speak to each other like that.
Well, did he say it to Ray or did he say it to a Port player?
I just assumed it was to Ray, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe he would have been a bit angry if it was to him. He's like, we don't speak to each other like that.
I think he intervened on behalf of something like a sled.
So he white-knighted somebody.
Yeah, like I think if someone says that to Razor, he's probably going to pay a free kick because he's, if you say something to an umpire, they can. But I reckon if he said it to another player, he might have just gone, well, he's up. We don't talk to each other that way. But fuck, I'd love to know what was said. Where's the sounds of the game on that? Channel 7?
I don't know. He has too much to say. Just shut up and umpire the game.
Well, I thought it was funny.
It was very funny. It was really funny.
It's just like, Razor cops a lot of shit, but that was a pretty funny exchange. Next game, Freo just got by the Crows. The Crows are in free fall.
Oh.
This has happened very quickly. They've just, I know they got injuries, but they are plummeting. Speaking of cooked, Dan, that Crow is burnt.
They're in a world of trouble. And, more players wanting out. Things are bad for them.
How do you have such a culture where you would be...
Adelaide, a state where people want to leave.
Port don't have this problem. Port don't have players fucking off home all the time. Why is it always the Crows?
Maybe because they take them into the desert. They mind fuck them. And they make them miss their mummies. And then they want to go away.
Give me your phone. We're going to blindfold you for 24 hours.
I don't know what it is they do, but there's got to be something very wrong at that club because they're the only ones who lose players. And it's not it didn't just start with Danger. Gunston left, Tippett left. No one gives a shit now. But, they have just leaked players for years now. And, there's a fair chance that they lose Sloan, Lynch, and McGovern this year. That's huge.
Aren't the Kraft brothers from Victoria as well?
Country Victoria, though, so it's not really a...
It's not really Victoria.
Yeah, it's not. There's nowhere to go in the country of Victoria.
They're from halfway.
Yeah, it's just going back to Victoria, they may as well stay in Adelaide. It's just like a country town for them. But, yeah, if you were to look at player movement and players leaving of required players, you would say that the Crows are in the big four of that, along with Brisbane, Gold Coast and GWS.
Yeah, the go-home factor from Adelaide is real. Or just the go-away factor, the go anywhere else.
Yeah, well, that was Tippett, wasn't it? I want to go home to the Gold Coast. No, I'll go to Sydney.
I'll go anywhere but here.
Just let me out. And then, Gunston didn't even tell them he was leaving until, he waited till the last possible second to say, get me out.
You mentioned Lever?
Yeah, everybody knows Lever.
Lever, Danger.
But yeah, they do have a problem with player retention, and yeah, the slide is on over there. Because they lost to a Freo team without Fife and Sandilands. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The only experienced player they had was Mundy, and it wasn't playing Richmond, so
yeah.
They had Ballantyne, but he's more of a fucking liability than.
Just more and more reasons the Crows should have banked this.
Fremantle's kids were good, that Sarah dude. Is that his name? Sarah.
Chera.
He was Chera. Whatever. He's good. I like him. Cox was good. Wasn't the best Cox, but he was good.
Not the biggest or the best Cox.
Oh, Chera.
Sarah, yeah. I guess it's. See, no one goes after you for your mistakes, bitch.
I tried to clarify.
We don't even know if it's a mistake yet.
No, we'll just let that one go.
That's a genuine question.
Ding,
it's not
ding,
a track
ding,
order.
ding, ding,
Yes,
ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding. And on that note, I think we can move on from that game.
I was happy to skip it, but yeah, okay.
Well,
Of
we
course
talked
you
about
were.
how bad Adelaide is as a destination, the anti-destination club, really. The departure club.
Yeah, it was more anti-Adelaide than it was pro-Fremantle.
Yeah, fuck Fremantle, fuck Jose.
But any time there's a purple disco on, I'm down. I love it when the lights go off.
Brian's lost to Essendon in probably one of the least skilled games of football anyone would have had the misfortune of seeing.
We can skip this game.
Yeah,
I
did not
can't
watch
think
the
of
second.
anything out of this.
Didn't watch
Didn't
this game.
watch. I only watch games with my actual rivals, and that's none of these two.
The other game was the Giants pulled out their second 100-point defeat in their history against the Suns in another embarrassing performance for the Gold Coast.
Oh, they're an absolute rabble, the Gold Coast.
Do you want to know how much of a rabble? Jason Dunstall mentioned a stat late in the game. The Gold Coast have gone 5 weeks without winning a quarter. There's a streak for you.
Wow,
that's like the reverse demon thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so that should bode well for them. Because if they end the streak this week, they should win the next 2 games. The next game, at least.
And they're in the streak. They are playing St Kilda. So if St Kilda lose to this rabble...
All right. So let's put our money on which quarter do we think Gold Coast will win?
All 4.
All 4 and the pillow to come with battle.
St Kilda will bite the pillow.
I reckon the second quarter Gold Coast will win.
Yeah, I'll just go all 4. Why not?
Why don't you just go for a draw for all 4 quarters then?
Or 2 each. Oh, you're taking too long to think it through.
Oh, I thought that was that a serious question, was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, why not? Go the draw. That's the Dan thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll go. That's all of it. I think the only other thing is they had 7,000 there, but if you looked at the crowd, it was more like 3. So the AFL fudging some serious numbers there, NRL style.
I reckon they must recount people who go out for a smoke.
Maybe they counted the pillows as people.
They might have done that at the St Kilda Sydney game. Why not? I reckon there was more Sydney supporters at that game than St Kilda.
The poor club getting poor attendances, Dan.
That's right. The poor club.
Anyway, talking points time. Very few of these. The only one I can think of is that Hawthorn are trialling the on-field zones. So how is this? Was this another chat between Clarko and Gillen? You know, we'll do the zones.
Stop changing the game. Leave it as it is. For fuck's sake, we don't need any more changes. Do you remember how we spoke about this?
Yes. Yeah, the one rule.
Yeah, the one rule where you get one rule to change.
Does that count as your one rule?
Yes.
So you got to wait another 10 years for the rule number 2.
You got to wait another 10 years.
Mm.
I hate when this shit comes up because it makes me nervous. I don't like.
It's not zones. It's just every stoppage you got to have a certain amount of people in certain areas of the ground. It's not you don't get a free kick again.
And then that becomes soccer, and then we end up getting offsides and shit like that. Nah, fuck that. No, leave it as it is.
No, don't like.
I just thought it was funny that Clarko's the one trialling it. Anyway, that's all the talking points I got. Does anybody else have any?
So what do we reckon that the coaches talked about with Gil last night? They had their annual circle jerk that Jonathan Brown turned up with a million slabs of beer out the front. Was that Jonathan Brown? Jonathan Brown.
Oh, because it said Brownie. It could have been the one at St Kilda. Brownie.
Yeah. Brownie.
I don't know. What did they talk about? No more AFLX, please.
Is it a serious sort of gathering, or is it just like a casual thing?
I think it's semi-formal, so they will say a few things, but loose discussions that, Gil will take some mental notes and then they'll reconvene later on. But they probably just talk a bunch of other shit too.
Yeah, who knows what they would have.
You don't get them together just for a social thing to say, how are you all going?
I thought that's what Gil did, the first time round as a.
It might have been the first time round, but he keeps doing it. So clearly, it's a bit of a take your coach's hats off.
I'm more intrigued as to what he would have had on the menu, or what his missus would have cooked up.
I'm sure they would have got it catered.
Yeah, they would have
ordered pizzas or something.
They ordered pizzas. Didn't say the pizza man rock up.
And then Ross Lyon threw the pizza. Gillen got cheaper stadium food for them. I don't know. I don't have really much out of it. Maybe Ross Lyon asked Gil for some tips on how to brush your off-field problems under the rug. Question time. Ilksy wants to know, when was the last time an AFL team had a dominant ruckman combo like Grundy and Cox? Never? Question mark.
Like, people, like, some flogs in the thread said, like, Cox, Nat, and Nui and shit, but I don't remember either of them ever kicking 5.
Cox kicked 5. The Cox actually, literally,
Nat
there was
Nui
a
gets
game
four
Cox kicked
straight
5.
Up in the forward pocket.
There was a game Cox kicked 5 with Nick Nat and the ruck. Once.
Interesting.
I do recall that. Because I think that was the reason Cox got picked in the forward pocket that year, which is what you're talking about, Dan? In the All-Australian team? Yeah. Because he kicked 5 in one game. I'd like to nominate the combination of...
Well, who doesn't see this coming?
Stanley and Smith down at Geelong.
I was expecting Nankerv's Grig.
Yeah, well, K4A already nicked that one.
Swerve.
Yeah, but the one down at Geelong, which Chris Scott was so glowing about this week, did anybody catch his words on that?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be in the coaches' votes, ever.
Very rarely do you see a player, let alone 2 players, get thrown under the bus quite so drastically as that. Just like, well, neither of them are playing good enough football, at the moment to knock down the spot. Would you be looking at players from other clubs? Well, of course you would be. It's just like, as though that's the stupidest question on earth. Refreshing honesty, but yeah.
No, I
pretty
enjoyed
funny.
that.
Yeah, no, I really liked that. Fucking, that's a fair whack. You two have sacks of shit, and I'm gonna call it.
I think that's the first time a player's been that criticised by their coach since Pitiful Pittman.
Pitiful Pittman. Yes.
Why is it always Ruckman?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just...
The only time that Bucks ever got aggressive with someone was when he nearly ripped Jared Witts apart.
I don't know, because they're big and dopey and their mistakes stand out more than other
Probably
players.
because there's that certain level of outrage. If you weren't so tall, you would be nothing. It's just like, they know they're not real footballers, they're just very tall guys. But geez, there's been some pitiful... Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other ruckman. I think, didn't Mick give Cameron Cloke a fucking...
Yeah, I think Will Minson got a bit of a bake once too.
Yeah, but he was the smartest dumb cunt ever. Or dumbest smart cunt ever, whatever it is.
He was a prick. Now he works at North Melbourne.
Yeah, it's terrific. Waste of money giving that guy a salary.
It's alright, you've got more money than St Kilda. You can afford it.
That's true.
And they need a ruck coach more than you do.
I mean, like, you personally, Dan, have more money than St Kilda.
Yeah, probably.
St Kilda need to make some money fast. Start marketing St Kilda branded pillows to their supporter base. St Kilda sex pillows.
The sex pillow membership.
Membership
That's
sex
it.
pillow.
They'll send you a lanyard for your sex pillow.
It's made of Velcro.
Bonus strap on if you renew by November.
You can buy jerseys that fit over your pillow. Not Cookie wants to know. You're invited to Gil's house for the coaches meeting. What are you bringing?
My pillow.
A sex pillow. Yeah, a sex pillow for Gil so he doesn't get himself into any trouble.
I think this must be the most nerve-wracking thing a coach has to go through for the year. You don't want to be the guy that turns up with the cheapest bottle of wine, and you don't want to be the suck-up that turns up with the most expensive. So you've got to find that middle ground. And you don't want to be the guy that turns up with nothing, because then you look like a fucking tired ass.
No, especially when Jonathan Brown drops off 20 slabs.
They didn't even take them inside. They just left them on the footpath.
Someone would have picked them up.
Yeah, Robbo outside covering the thing.
The first time Robbo's ever done a doorstop.
He's on the AFL 360 season there and goes, gets the idea. We'll go do a doorstop on the way home, take a slab with me.
I knew there was a reason why he was late to 360 yesterday. He wasn't at the G. He'd gone past Gillen's to get the beers.
Yeah. No, I don't know what else you could bring. I got no good answers for that. Speaking of not Cookie's question, Dan, you have a question.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. How do you not remember your question?
Well, it's not often I ask questions, but then sometimes I see someone repeating themselves with stupid, inane questions, and then sometimes I feel the need to respond. Oh, here we go. You're on the Bay 13 podcast, and you're given a choice of answering a Pakenham Ham Saint question or eating...
hang on, a what question?
Hey, what question?
But no, this is the question.
Yeah, but who
Pakenham
asked
Ham Saint?
Pakenham Ham.
Isn't that his name? Packham
What's his
Ham, Saints.
Can we talk about how you did?
Packenham
Can we talk
Saints,
about how
sorry.
you did say reconstruction?
Hey, listen, we said nothing when you said Sarah, when it was Cheddar, alright? So you be quiet.
But you denied saying reconstruction.
No, I put my hand up in the convo. I did say re.
I like how not Cookie's riding hard on the wagon that Cookson didn't laugh the other week. He definitely did.
He did laugh.
He definitely laughed. That was a laugh, not an inhale. Fuck me.
Yeah, you're a crybaby, and your brother laughs. You're the cry and laugh brothers.
But yes, Dan, what was your question?
Oh well, basically what I'm saying is I'd rather eat dog shit for 2 hours and answer another one of his questions. Because he always has a question.
Did you answer his last question?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so eat some shit.
Yeah, no, eat some shit.
Go on, do it like that Philly Eagles fan.
Any other questions?
Yes, the last one is from Gornage. Who has been sending hate mail to Tex Walker?
Well, not me, but it sounds like a good idea.
I reckon Jake Lever. Been called out for the success. He's got a bit of time on his hands. He's been called out for the lack of success, and now he's getting his own back. Revenge is a dish best served in the mail.
I don't know how he knows it is blackmail, or how it is, like, what did he say it was? Hate mail.
Hate mail.
Considering he can't read. But
it has a lot of sad faces on it.
maybe it's got emojis at the end. It's like got the angry emoji. It's got the shit emoji. You play like shit emoji. Is there a desert emoji? Maybe it was just like 20 bus emojis, and he got triggered.
Need to go bump that tell a story through emojis thread that Chief had me start earlier this year. Get one in there. Tex Walker's hate mail. Yeah, no. Any other candidates for who's been sending Tex hate mail?
I don't know, but there's been one of my favourite things to do now, myself and a few prominent posters, is to listen to 5AA after an Adelaide loss. And this week
get
one of
stuffed.
us managed.
Go on, get stuffed.
This week one of us managed to get on.
As a in a Biffinator sort of Mario from Doncaster style.
Yeah, as a fake Adelaide supporter. And compare Tex Walker as a captain to Travis Boak, and say how we wished that they had a leader like Travis Boak or a forward like Charlie Dixon. We also got a text message read out, which was very entertaining. So if Adelaide lose again, or next time they do lose, which will probably be Saturday night, tune into 5AA. I highly recommend it.
I think that's a good note to move on to this week on the Bay. Thread of the week is a no contest.
Yeah, we don't even need to.
We're all talking about honourable mentions here because the winner is clearly the
who is the confirmed ruckman?
What?
The confirmed best ruckman in the comp thread. Obviously.
No. If you think your life is going bad. Thread of the week.
Fantastic thread. Fantastic contributions. I love a thread where everybody contributes to make it better than the sum of its parts.
Yep, absolutely. A collaborative thread that
and
isn't...
for the OP for taking that photo at the game. Well done.
Don't think the OP took the photo.
The OP got sent the photo.
I think they did. I think they did. The two redhead people match.
The best part about, you're right about collaborative threads. Like a thread where Ugak does a video or Moffra does a bottom 50 are great for the individual aspects, but they're very much what everybody else brings to the thread isn't... Oh, in Moffra's thread, you get Hawthorn supporters melting, but other than that, it's not the same as a thread where everybody weighs in with comments or shoops or whatever the fuck it is. And 255 posts, it feels like there was more than that. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, but how many of those were actual quality belly laughs? Like 90%.
A lot. It's like the Ashley Madison thread, which was like, there was almost the entirety of that thread was pro Viles, and it was only about 180 posts long, but it's fucking amazing. And things like that. That's what we need more of on the Bay. Just those times where, like the KFC boy thread, where everybody gets on board for the cause of pure lols. Honourables, what do we got?
The Melbourne game day thread on their board was really fucking entertaining. Lever Puller seemed to think that they were going to win by plus 85 points. He didn't offer a slab of beer, though, to everybody who posted in the thread. But, yeah, that was really entertaining to watch them go from delusional to back down to earth.
Lollingwood supporters the bravest on Big Footy. That got made today. I thought the OP was kind of funny.
I haven't seen that one.
I
think there were a few since, like, last week. Oh, Escape Movie starring Dustin Martin, if we hadn't seen that one. Only 27 replies, but there's some decent shoots in that as well.
Oh, hang on. I might nominate the stupid thread on the scandals and rumours board regarding Dustin Martin. Where is it? Is
this the crime one?
No, this is the Dustin Martin to retire from league footy thread. I'll read the OP. Here is how it'll play out. Dusty is in New Zealand with Daddy this week. Dusty's manager, Ralph, has hid the money in the US. Dusty will do what Buddy didn't and retire from footy. Now, because he has a big contract, Dusty will take up pro boxing in the US as he means to reunite with his father. Richmond will retake Dusty as an offline rookie recruit if boxing fails. Nostradamus lives. Mark it now. Any mod that closes this thread will be laughed at. There's people backing up the OP because apparently he's had mail that he's been correct about on other topics.
My only issue with it is he's going to reunite with his dad in the US. If this is a guy who has criminal convictions, there's no way
he's not getting in the States either.
He's not getting into the US, no.
That's my only issue with it.
Yeah, I just responded by saying, get the fuck out of here.
Your post isn't the best of the replies there. I like the Zach Merritt tap dancing one. Flog of the week.
Harry.
Who?
Harry who?
Exactly. Who the fuck's Harry?
Who the fuck is Harry?
Oh, that fucking spastic Harry 000 Melbourne supporter who came out of nowhere. There was fucking 2 Melbourne supporters on the Bay, mate, when you were shit. You don't belong here. No, 3. I'll give him 3. And now, old Harry Hiding has come into the fucking frame, making an absolute arse of himself.
We like Harry, because Harry is our mate. We like to drink Harry.
Oh, I'm going to nominate Dan for tagging Chisholm. Fuckwit.
He asked me why I tagged him in here, and I didn't respond. Well, I mean, he has a right to know if he's on the podcast. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a bit of constructive criticism.
No other Flog of the Week noms.
No,
What? So hang on, you're nominating. So hang on, to go back to Morgan Ash, you're nominating me because I tagged Chisholm because of the rant that you had on the podcast.
Yeah.
You ratted her out. You're a rat.
You ratted. We're supposed to be best friends.
How am I a rat if that's posted publicly on?
You wouldn't have known what I said.
He may listen to it. You don't know that.
He's not listening to it.
He might.
We've got
He probably still hasn't listened to it. I mean, he'll have to sift through like 90 minutes of just bullshit to see if there was even a mention for him. Who cares?
You're a rat. Snitches get stitches. And Flog of the Week.
Are we up to the hour yet?
We've actually gone past it, but I gave you a little bit of
I knew this wouldn't work.
Hey, we're very close. We're very close. So shut up.
You want to talk back to the hour? Nah, it's a failure. We're going back to the old ways. Sorry. 5-hour edit.
Shut up.
Monday, starting again. We tried it. We gave it a go, but it's just not going to work.
I hope you enjoy our retirement from this.
No, Dan, you're going to have to learn how to edit so that we can still do this when Starburns cracks the shits.
There will be no...
This is just his mid-season. He does this every year. Oh, this will be the last season. I'm not doing this anymore.
Tips time, Dan. Who are we tipping? There's only 6 games this week.
Doing the tips, are we? Well, we've gone past the hour.
Shut
sort of
up.
time.
Shut up.
We
Shut
might
up.
stretch this for another hour
Shut
because
the fuck
it's been a
up.
failure.
Dan,
No,
it's your turn to tip.
You just asked me to do the tips, and now you're telling me to shut up. I mean,
Yeah, I'm telling you to shut up about the
You
hour
want me to-
limit.
You want me to do them or not? You're
Yes.
holding us back. You did this
Puffers.
last. I'm trying to do the tips.
Morgs, do you want a tip? Because I'm about to kick Dan.
I did the tips last week. It's Dan's turn.
Puffers versus dogs, Dan.
Let's see. Where's this game being played at?
Get fucked.
At Adelaide.
And what day?
Thursday.
The night game?
Yes. No,
Shut
it's during the
up.
day on a Thursday.
Make your tip.
Okay. Well, I'm probably going to go with the power. Yeah, I'll go with the power.
If you tip the next one slowly, I'm taking over. Colas versus Eagles on Friday night.
Swans.
Carlton versus Freo.
Freo.
Oh, he tipped it. He tipped the Freo game.
Wow.
Oh, shit, I did too. No, you put me off because you're making me go through these quickly.
As always, no responsibility.
I stand.
You're like Cookson.
No, you can't keep saying no responsibility when you crop. Oh, you're an
Isn't
idiot.
Cookson no responsibility, though?
What's the next one? Sun,
It's not your
St
one.
Kilda.
Suns St Kilda. We've already talked about how many quarters will be won.
Yeah, St Kilda. Hawthorn, Crows, Hawthorn, and this is easy. Cats will shit on Richmond. I don't even know
The
if that's
MCG, Dan. Anyway,
doesn't matter. You're a big
this was
player,
the
isn't it?
vlogcast for round 13. Starburns joined by Morgs
Farewell.
and Dan.
Yeah, see you later.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Maybe on a Tuesday. Started at 11:15 because Ruck said he couldn't turn up on Monday.
Then thought we did it already.
Yeah.